Hi, this is Adam Taylor with the ITS group. In our last video we created our last staff policy, which was for teachers. In this one we're going to create a GPO for the students, and then we're going to push them all out. Very exciting. So since nothing carries over from the other GPOs that we've set up for LanSchool, we'll just go ahead and create a new one. It's probably faster. So you want to right click on group policy objects, click on new. We'll call this one LanSchool Student Clients. Once you've created that, you want to right click on it and edit it. So here we'll go to policies under computer configuration. That's policies, software settings, software installation, right click, create a new one, and you want to go to package. And this time we'll select the student MSI. There we go. So there's our student. We'll now go to administrative templates and find the 64-bit student. And we just want to set some similar settings to what we did last time. So we'll leave the student channel unconfigured, go to install options. And again, we've got our 16-bit value and our 512-bit value for a total of 528. So put that in the box. Obviously feel free to go through this whole log and pick out the ones that apply to you, but these are the ones that make sense for me. So that's all we want to set there. If you are going to be putting these students through a server, then this is where we can set that. So just enable that, and you can put in the server address. Now I'm actually not going to be using the server because I want these students to operate in peer-to-peer. The teacher machine is in the room with the students and it's all one flat network. I'll be using the server later on for the Chromebooks, but for Windows I don't need it. So I'll actually be leaving this off. For yourselves, if your teacher console and your tech console and your student clients are all on different networks, different VLANs, then by all means put it through the server and they'll all be able to see each other through that central point. Again, you just want to type that in. Like that, and hit apply, but not for me. It's done. The last thing we want to configure then will be, very simply, just go into the registry and create a new key. And the path for this one, just like with all the others, will be HK local machine, software, wow 6432 node. And then we'll just pop a LanSchool on the end, like that. The name of this key is going to be StudentDestFolder. And that's StudentDest, as in short for destination, folder. And the file path for this can be anything you like. This is where all of the files that LanSchool will send and receive will go to and from. So by default, it will create a folder called C LanSchool Files. If the file doesn't exist, then the install process creates it. You can actually map this to be anything you like. So if you've got OneDrive, Google Drive, if you map network folders specifically for file sharing, then this will just allow you to choose that file in advance and specify the folder path that way. Otherwise, you can leave it on the default, which means you don't need the key. One good practice is if you have OneDrive, you can obviously map OneDrive, and then you could use that instead to make sure that students and teachers are just sharing files between themselves on the cloud rather than on the network. So once you picked your file path, you want to save that. And that all looks good. We are done. So we can now drop the student clients onto the student OU. And that is our last GPO. So now that they've all been set, we just want to do a quick GP update. Done. If you've got your secondary domain controller set up to replicate, then this policy will be copied over onto that as well. We have it held on both. We also will just need to reboot the machines a couple of times for the policies to take effect, which is fine. We'll do that on a later video. That is the last thing you'll need to do on the domain. So you can now safely disconnect. That's all been set up perfectly fine. You can close it. You can disconnect your RDP. You won't need to come back to it, and neither will I. On the next video, we'll take a look at setting up the very first server, which is the LanSchool connection server, allowing us to cover multiple VLANs and non-desktop based clients. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. If you do have any comments, please do leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you on the very next video for the LanSchool connection server. Thanks.